Hey guys, Jack here. Forgive the absence, man. I've just been personally bummed out that the new Mortal Kombat game wasn't announced at E3, and it kinda threw a lot of plans I had out the window. So I've just been spending the last month or so getting myself back in order. Despite there being no MK for us to talk about, I'm still mad excited that The Division 2 is coming. I'm definitely expecting a truckload of new information to come out of Gamescom later this month, so to bridge that gap, I've come up with some fun topics for us to discuss leading up to the next big batch of hot and delicious information for us to sink our teeth into. The title should have spelt it out. I want to talk about future potential weapon specializations that could be added to the Division 2. Whether we're locked into having only the 3 already announced weapon specializations for the entirety of the sequel's lifespan hasn't been denied nor confirmed, so I'll take the liberty of speculating on some cool future power weapons I'd like to see us have. Now, the first additional weapon specialization would be none other than the Cleaners Underbarrel Flamethrower. Doesn't look like the Cleaners faction will be making a return in the Division 2, and that's cool. They seem to have been replaced by these foam spraying guys you'll see later on in the footage. But we can't bring back this one cool thing that made their concept so badass and fun to fight against in the first place. I'm pretty sure the turret from the first game will be making a comeback. And yeah, it may have a flamethrower modification, but I don't think it'll make having an entire specialization focused on the flamethrower redundant. Main reason being the flexibility in situations this underbarrel flamethrower could be used for in combat. The turret is a stationary device, and our characters aren't, with making PvP and combat in general very cover based this time around. At least that's the ambition. The flamethrower will be all about the extra utility it would give in practically all combat situations you can think of. Instead of having to reload after emptying a magazine at, let's say, 2 of your advancing enemies, you just crank out the underbarrel flame mod to keep the pressure on, and while they're stuck in that "oh my god, I'm on fire" animation, you get that much needed 3 seconds to get your reloaded. Another cool way to make this specialization stand out is that it can directly ignite the surrounding environment. Like if you spray directly towards the ground, you start and create a wall of fire, something like what the incendiary grenades would do, which creates a much needed area of denial. This would be much welcome since the map seems to be a lot more open this time around, with enemies having more angles to approach from and get a line of sight on us from. It shows some control of the area of combat back in our hands. Plus, with us now being limited to 1 grenade type of our choosing per loadout, we've been robbed of a huge portion of our crowd control ability in this sequel. This extra perk of the flamethrower mod could compensate for that loss, most definitely. Now let's talk about damage and range. The damage for sure needs to be piss poor. Now I get it. They want the specialization weaponry to be, well, powerful, big damage dealers. But we have enough experience from the first game to know that crowd control effects mixed with high damage is too overpowered. And now I kinda take back what I say. The damage doesn't actually need to be piss poor now that I think about it. What needs to happen is that it needs to be one of 2 things, but not both. It either needs to be that it has a shitty utility and crowd control, but very strong burst damage, or vice versa. A mixture of making both ends of the spectrum powerful is cancerous for the combat meta. Just look at the 1.7 Seeker Mind meta, or the recent 1.8 Classified Predators Mark meta we just freaking had. The range of this underbarrel mod is not for me to decide. That requires someone with actual game development knowledge of balancing shit to work out the numbers. There are still way too many variables and changes being made in this sequel that we still don't know about, which will greatly decide how combat plays out. Like the concrete numbers about how fast the general time to kill is, etc. But I'm all about ripping how it works straight from the original Cleaners verbatim. They only switched to flamethrower when you really got close to them, and I feel that's the way it should be balanced to function here as well in the Division 2. So yeah, that's about it. Let me hear your thoughts about how the specialization should work if ever brought to the game. And if you have a different power weapon you'd like to see, let me know about it and let's have a dialogue about it. This is being boy J. Keep watching more Division 2 content. I got some daily uploads coming, man. and some surprises on the way. This is being boy Jakey, man. Peace out, and of course, enjoy your day. Yeah, man.